some engineering dude you are.
It's on now.
Are you sure anyone can hear us?
Yeah. So there you can see. Here's the mic coming in, so you can see. You can see that.
Yeah, great.
I won't touch that anymore. Okay.
Oh boy.
So if I go over here and refresh the page.
You refresh the page.
Yeah, there's the live thing. See, we're
Oh
live now.
God, one person watching. Lord help us. That's probably Dan. Poor guy.
So I don't know how to see the chat. Maybe we have to go into this.
Do we have to see chats?
No, but it
We
might
see
be
people
useful.
like saying horrible things to us.
Poor guy.
All right, here's the chat. Oh, there's a chat. Okay.
Oh yeah, Dan's in there. Yay.
So I'm pausing this so we don't like double do this, but
Yeah, that's a terrible view,
See
by the
chats.
way.
hi chat.
Oh God. I don't like this. So he's frozen the screen on this inopportune point in the video where like my face is going and he's like,
I just don't know how to see chat without seeing the whole fucking thing.
it's okay. We don't have to worry about that. So we would like a little bit of feedback though. Is the voice okay and everything like that? So like if you're just listening to the vocal, which we're hoping to eventually put up on Podbean and all that, is it loud enough and okay? Any feedback from the chat would be greatly appreciated. Not sure.
I don't know what that thing is.
I don't know what the thing is either. Why are you playing with the chat? You're so weird.
No.
Isn't that what?
So
Now
it's
you're going
a
to start some sort of random video. Oh my God. Aren't you an engineer?
This isn't an engineering job.
Oh.
Just so we all
Please
know.
stop playing. I can see myself in like slow motion, like after the fact, and that's very annoying. Can you put that to the side? How about you put that piece to this? There you go. Now we just see the chat, and then we see us like that. That's better. That's much better. I like that.
All right.
Great. All right. So the chat says audio and stream are on point. So I guess we'll believe Dan on that. So this is our second attempt at a regular cast, I suppose, right? This is We Drink and We Know Things. So the last time we did this, we talked about our Negronis, right? This time you're drinking UFO.
Yep.
And I'm
UFO Light Force.
Gotcha, and I'm drinking the Corona. We started, put your beer down. We actually started with something I created. With
Terrible camera. Gotta get a new camera. Sorry. Go ahead.
So anyhow, we actually started with something I created. I made two drinks. I made a version for him because he likes the bourbon. Ugh, I hate bourbon. It tastes like corn. So please don't do that again. We will lose viewers, and that's only one, so that would be bad. So I made I used bourbon, and then I put in some tart cherry vanilla syrup. I took a shake of bitters and half a lemon that I squeezed in there. And then I also, I think it was all I put in there. And then I shook it really good with ice for about 30 seconds. And then I poured that over more ice. I strained it over ice. And then I added to fill up the rest of the glass, which was just like it was a white wine glass, really. No stem. And then I topped it with the sparkling wine or champagne or whatever you want to call it. It wasn't from France, so it wasn't champagne. So that's what I did. And then I added
Wine with bubbles?
Yeah, wine with bubbles. White wine with bubbles. So that was his drink. And then for mine, because I hate bourbon, if I haven't mentioned that already, I took Irish whiskey. Tullamore Dew is the best. I took Irish whiskey, and then I put Arabic tea syrup, which is a little bit sweeter. And I took a half a lemon, squeezed that in there, and a dash of bitters. Same thing, shook it for 30 seconds over ice, and then I strained it over fresh ice in a white wine glass, no stem. Topped it with the sparkling white wine and a piece of lemon, and that came out good. It was kind of like a whiskey sour, but a little bit more tart. I'm not a fan of sweet stuff, so that was actually really good. But we hadn't eaten anything, and that was at like 1 o'clock, and so we were ridiculously, I'd say buzzed, but that might be a little too nice. So we had to eat something. So we decided if we were going to do our little cast here, we should probably calm down. So therefore we switch to light beers. It's a little, not as much fun, but a little bit better.
Yeah.
So there we go. All right. So there's our start of our We Drink and We Know Things today.
Probably should have gotten a glass for this, but it's all right. It's Memorial Day, so I can.
Mine's
be nice
in a
and
glass.
lazy.
Mine's in a
Yeah.
glass. So there you go.
Mine's in a tin can.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a submarine. It's like a submarine for your beer.
Okay. I have no coaster. This is appalling.
We have coasters.
Hang on. There we go.
There you go.
Much better. Okay.
All right.
So now that we've introduced our drink for today, sad, but it's okay. What are we talking about first?
Okay, so we got some silly articles. So here's the first one. I'm going to switch over so you can hopefully see this. This is where Jason Derulo knocks his teeth out while eating corn with a drill on TikTok.
Are you going to play the little video? Can you play it and have everyone see it?
Yeah, it's going to open a new tab but here. I'll play it in here. I know the tension is palpable.
Hey, have y'all seen this? I've always wanted to try it. Life hack.
A life hack, yeah.
Yeah. Idiot. So I said that wasn't really his teeth, that it was probably caps because it's just his two front teeth. So I'm thinking he probably had to have caps put on his teeth for some other reason because, his teeth before this were like perfect and beautiful. Bet you they pulled off his caps. Like,
yeah, I obviously I've never had this happen to me. Well, I don't know if it's obvious, but it has not happened to me. And I would think my reaction would be a bit more violent than, let me open my mouth and show people. So, yeah. It doesn't seem like he had a lot of pain. It was more of a shock.
Yeah. And also it looked like they popped off. And if you look, it's pretty even. So that looks like they were actually probably filed down to the point where they needed to and then put the caps on. Like, not that I don't have any caps. I'm not sure how that works. But that's my guess, I'm thinking. I've had braces, but I've never had caps. But that's my guess. But yeah, you're a moron. Like, why would you do that? Like, there's no reason to do that.
Right. Now, here's the question, though. So, there's a lot of potential money in getting lots of views and getting sponsors and stuff and people trying to be the streamer of the day.
I'm not doing that.
Try not to use a platform, be platform specific, right? But that's... I think there was a question, somebody asked a large number of high schoolers. I wish I had that article, but I don't. Somebody asked like a large number of high schools what they want to do for their career, and like one of the top answers was basically like video streamer, vlogger.
I have a student. He was a junior last year. Now I have him as a senior, and he refused to, when we were doing the career research thing, he kept saying, I'm going to be a YouTuber. I'm going to be a YouTuber. I'm like, so what? All right, that's fine, but can you pick a career that maybe you would fall back on if this doesn't make you any money? He's like, oh no, you can make mad money doing this. And I'm like, so I made him show me his channel. So I watched it, and I'm like, he was doing stupid stuff. Like he and his buddy.
Stupider than this?
Stupider. So he did this, like he went into like an abandoned building in the Bronx somewhere. So yes, more stupid than this, if you ask me.
That sounds cooler than this. This is literally stupid. That sounds potentially cool.
And potentially dangerous. Stop like encouraging my students to do stupid things.
Again, more stupid than this?
Anyhow.
Arguable.
So he did this whole it was like almost like one of those like ghost hunter kind of things where he was trying to go into this building, and like he was like freaking out and like trying to spend the night, but like he couldn't. Right. He ran out freaking out, but like I don't know, like how are you making money off of that? Like the ads, like
the views.
Does anyone click on the ads?
And you get sponsors, and then you do. You say like, oh, sponsored by UFO. It's not sponsored by UFO, but
yeah, I was just gonna say no, it's not.
Yeah, so that's the kind of thing that.
But
you do.
This might be sponsored by the coronavirus. But it's not. Sorry.
Great. Now we're gonna be demonetized.
Oh yeah, we're not supposed to say the C word. Crap.
Good job,
sorry.
It's only been like 3 minutes, and you already fucking said it.
Yeah. Well, we aren't. And you just said the F word, which means that now we have to make this as like. Don't you have to do this like explicit content now?
Does that mean I have to show my penis now?
Please don't do that.
Okay.
Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see your big clock. Clock with an L. I didn't say the other thing. Yeah.
So back to my question, right? If the goal is to get lots of viewers and be extreme and be crazy, was this staged or did it happen on accident? Because if those are his caps, how easy is it to have them come off and then put them back on? I don't know. I've never had them.
I say it was staged because if I was doing this and that happened to me, there's no way in hell that I would then like publish this. Unless this is live and you can't stop
Unless you saw the dollar signs like, oh, I could get crazy views because what are we doing now? We're fucking talking about it. We just played the video.
Yes.
Right? We know TikTok. I never installed TikTok on my phone.
No, I'm
never
not going
at
to
TikTok.
do that.
So
Isn't
it's
TikTok
coming
the
from
Chinese thing that
Chinese clock?
No, TikTok's God. TikTok is the thing that isn't like it was like this whole Chinese malware thing where they were like all like, you know, watching everything and like stealing everybody's everything for anybody who had
everybody's everything.
Isn't that what China always does?
Well, that's maybe.
Well, anyhow.
I don't know.
Well, at least Dan's laughing. That's good. Owned by China, correct. See, TikTok is owned by China. And they were using TikTok. No, I know. I read this article somewhere where they were saying that TikTok was like actually was really bad. Like they were like, you know, infiltrating every little aspect and every little niche of everybody.
I think I remember what you're saying now. So I think the idea was that, we're going to create this platform where all the kids want to put it on their phone and now we can track all the kids.
Yeah, and like because they're stupid and, you know, allow access to everything. So, yeah, WhatsApp, a few others, probably like Instagram, well, not Instagram, but like what's the other one? The Snapchat, the one that they can post all those crazy filters and things like that.
A US based one, but
well, I think Snapchat. I think Facebook bought Snapchat.
Yeah, I think so. They went. I remember the stupid thing where they went public, but
yeah,
doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, Zoom's owned by China. Yeah, and the DOE now allows it, so that's great. You know.
Yeah, well, you've been using it at work for years.
Well, I won't download Zoom. I just use it through the browser when I have to.
Yeah, I don't think I have a choice. I have to use it at work, but it's fine.
Well, your job should be very upset about that, but whatever.
I have some things locked down. I don't know how much it's really working, but anyways, all right, enough of this stupid thing.
Idiot with his teeth. But again, I'm sure he well, is TikTok, can you only do it like live, or can you like actually like do it and then post it, or no?
I do what and post what?
With TikTok, does it have to be live? Like,
You're
or can
asking
you like
me about TikTok? I don't know.
Well, you picked the article, shouldn't you know?
I picked the article. I didn't pick the platform.
Oh.
We didn't even go to TikTok. We're on
Lad Bible? LAD Bible?
LA Bible?
No, LAD Bible.
Oh, Lad Bible. Okay.
Or, yeah.
Los Angeles Douche Bible, maybe?
Yeah, that's a great one. I think that's probably it, yeah.
All right, that works.
Okay.
All right, so here's the next one. Let me put the browser back. So the next one is...
this one's mine.
Read the title here?
Yeah, this one's cool. The U.S. successfully tested a laser weapon that can destroy aircraft mid-flight.
Oh, I didn't do this one.
Yeah, this is cool. You said we wanted to surprise each other, right? So this is not the super-duper missile that President Trump mentioned the other day. Sorry, no offense. But, this is a laser weapon that can destroy aircraft mid-flight. And the U.S. Navy successfully tested it, apparently. So I thought this was kind of cool because now we're like actually getting into like Star Wars stuff here. Like it shows the images show the laser emanating from the deck of the warship, and it says short video clips show what appears to be the drone burning. So they actually like targeted a drone and shot it down. Like I don't know the distance or anything like that, but like that's pretty cool.
Heating it up with laser?
High energy class solid state laser to disable an aerial drone aircraft.
The biggest problem is tracking it, right? So that it stays on it as the aircraft moves.
Right. So here's the video. Like click the video. Let's see what it does.
Closer.
Yeah. Oh, the government took it down.
Pulled down by the lame string media.
Oh, well done. But so, I mean, it's interesting because they're talking about like, you know, they're conducting the advanced at-sea tests against UAVs and small crafts, right? So it's interesting because like if they can actually like use a laser like to like this is what they were talking about. This is like
freaking laser beams.
Yeah, like freaking laser sharks with freaking laser beams on their heads. But more importantly, like a Death Star kind of situation, like not blowing up an entire planet, but like if you can pinpoint a laser beam.
It's the end of the Air Force. Yeah.
That's the end of the Air Force and the beginning of the Space Force.
Maybe.
But seriously, I mean, like this is kind of interesting.
It's been talked about probably since Star Wars that like if you could target an aircraft with a laser and take it down almost instantly, especially if you can computerize it. So if you can detect it with like so then you talk about like face detection, but if you can do like aircraft detection with video and you can detect it and take it out, you can automate that, then yeah, the Air Force becomes null and void. Even if it's fast enough, they can take out missiles before they physically move, because light is obviously faster than anything we're able to move at the moment. So if you can take out missiles before they come in to your, before they get close enough that they're dangerous, then it takes out Air Force, takes out missiles, and it really changes the war landscape for sure.
Yeah, well, then the only thing that's left is the biological weapons that they can release and like.
I thought this was supposed to be a light show, Karen.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying,
You're
you know, I
killing
mean,
everyone, war games and ships and laser
well, I
beams.
mean, but think about it, like so then what is left? What Iron Dome technology? So Dan just talked about Iron Dome technology. I'm not sure what that is.
I think it's when you put your tinfoil hat on.
Oh, wait,
Or
like
your iron foil hat.
yeah, but like it's true. I mean, like, and now I'm thinking of like if you think about Missile Command. You ever play that old video game?
No.
It's really old, probably older than you are. Yeah, but
I mean, I'm old.
I digress. No, you're not old. You're Anyhow,
Yeah.
so I mean, it's just the idea of like being able to, like you said, destroy things in midair, like before they even like, get to their target or whatever. But then are we going into that crazy dystopian, I guess, society where I don't remember what it was. Was it a book? Oh boy. So this is bad. I don't know if it was a book.
So books are the things with pages that you turn and you read them one page at a time.
So there was some, if it was a novel, a movie, there was some sort of story where there was an idea of, and I'm so sorry, and as an English teacher, I probably should know this, but there was some sort of story where, or maybe it was an episode of something like a Twilight Zone or something, where there were it was a scene where if you were like the world, like they were having like there was like a battle, like there was like wars and they would do like it was a computer generated thing. So like they would push a button and it was like, okay, so 300 people died in the town of
Wakanda.
Whatever, right? And so then what would happen is you'd have to pick 300 random people in that town, and then they would have to go to like a special like building, and they would be killed.
What?
Yes, it was like this crazy like this weird dystopian future where instead of actually waging battles and war, so it would be China would be like, okay, we're going to like destroy, we're going to wage war and we're going to send a missile to this town. And so we do this like computer generated thing.
It took me a minute.
Right.
I think maybe that was an episode of McFarlane's show.
No. It was not an episode of the Orville.
Okay.
No. That happened way before that.
Okay.
But there was, so like they would say like, okay, we're going to, but they did it. They probably used it in the Orville, but that was also, it was something before that. It was prior to that.
It might have been Star Trek.
Might have been. I don't know, but it was crazy. And so they were like, what? So like
I think it might have been Star Trek.
It was pretty cool though. I mean, it was terrible, but cool. But I mean, that's like the kind of thing I'm seeing now, like this, like the missile situation. So Israel's been using that for about 20 years. Wow. And I remember Reagan had started in the 80s about Operation Star Wars, and I remember that George Lucas was pissed about him using the term Star Wars for the defense acronym. Yeah.
You're gonna sue the federal government.
Yeah. So that was interesting. Yeah, definitely an interesting kind of situation there.
Called it Space Force and it'd been fine.
Oh God. Okay.
All right. So
that's what Steve Carell's going to be in, right? It's a new Netflix show.
That's what we've heard. We don't know much about it.
Yeah, just what we saw last night on Colbert.
Netflix throw us a bone.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so we got another thing here. This one is Florida man who drove into Bass Pro fish tank. Dove into Bass Pro fish tank, admits to crime, and taunts police on Facebook.
What?
Yeah, so there's a video, so might as well play that real quick.
It's not playing.
Or not, because YouTube.
Scroll down, maybe down there. There you go.
He
probably seen this video by now. If you thought this guy made a stupid move by diving into the giant fish tank at the Bass Pro Shops in Lee County, well, check out what he did now. Daniel Armendariz posted this video on Facebook, taunting deputies and saying, quote, "I'll turn myself in when I'm ready." We have blurred out a few of his fingers as well. Questionable choices aside, he is wanted by Crime Stoppers, and you can make some cash if you know where he is. Here's NBC2's Alex Howard.
In the past week, since the video went viral on social media, the man featured in it has been hiding from deputies. Now he's posted to Facebook, taunting both them and Bass Pro. With beer bottle in hand, this video showing an obscene gesture to a Bass Pro shirt was posted yesterday afternoon to Facebook.
It's because it's going to get worse for him. He should just come forward and turn himself in, I think.
Along with his profanity-laced confession by Armendariz, who admits to making this dive 2 Sundays ago at Bass Pro.
I think it's kind of ridiculous that they're seriously giving like a reward, $3,000 for someone who jumped in a tank, but I mean, why is he still on the run?
Shortly after this video got thousands of views, the Lee County Sheriff's Office issued an arrest warrant for him, along with a $3,000 reward for info on where he is. But on Monday, a defiant Armendariz called the damages done to the tank and his pending felony charge BS.
Social media has taken it to the point where people just do it for like likes and views and
That's what we were just talking
A
about.
taunt that was so bold, he told deputies he'd turn himself in when he was ready.
He just kind of looks more ridiculous than he really is. You know, even though he jumped in the tank, it's more ridiculous to taunt the police.
And we reached out to Crime Stoppers, who declined to comment on the video, only saying that the $3,000 reward still stands and the investigation is ongoing. In Lee County, Alex Howard, NBC2.
Yeah, so the best part of this is actually the quote below it. You want to read that, Gary?
Oh my God, this is horrific. I'm gonna read it with the correct with the grammar that he wrote.
Yeah. Just read it.
Fuck it, I'm tired of you looking for me like I'm some most wanted fugitive over a little tank dive? Question mark, like ×5. LOL, come on now, .. Well, you know what, Bass Pro, I've breed fish since I was 9 years old. You can kiss my ass about the $3,000 decontamination bullshit. Yeah, I fucked up diving in, but who doesn't want to dive in that beautiful tank, and who has been blasted this hard and charged with felonies? Question mark. Since all you authorities want to blast me like I'm some nasty criminal and offer awards, well, guess what? Get to working even more, because I'll turn myself in when I'm ready. You guys have put me out to be a drug-dealing, robbing, that's how you spell aggravated, battering criminal. But guess what? I beat all those charges, so that's wrong AF as fuck. Man, it is what it is. SMH, you guys are pathetic. Fuck it. Run that shit with like 3,000 question marks. What? Okay, so the guy dove into this giant fish tank that had a bunch of bass in it in a Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't really understand why. That was never very clear.
Yeah.
Other
He didn't video it or anything. Like, somebody else videoed it from afar, but...
It would seem, yeah, because there was video of it, yeah.
So...
Or a security camera, but I don't know.
Okay, so obviously you shouldn't do that. But they're trying to arrest him. Is it really with felonies? Like...
Yeah, I think it's because because they did that, because he did that, it sounded like they need to sanitize the tank. Because he jumped in and to protect the fish.
Wait, they're bass. What do you mean protect the fish? Like bass, like they swim in like the freaking lake out here. We could jump in the lake in there. Well, you're not sanitizing the lake.
Yeah, but the lake cleans itself. The bowl doesn't, I suppose. I mean, that's what the pro shop's arguing. But also,
I think that's a bit extreme.
But also,
I mean, he's stupid.
Right. But also, I think it's partial. Like if you own the shop, it's like that's the way you punish them. It's by charging him to sanitize the tank.
Well, right.
Because that way you discourage that sort of stupid behavior, right?
I agree, but like...
Otherwise, what do you do?
But a felony?
Don't do that again, mister. I mean,
okay, you can charge him, you can give him a fine, but like you're charging him with a felony?
Probably because he's running away from, he's not agreeing to show up in the office or something at the police station, and he's avoiding all of that. That's probably the problem, but yeah.
They couldn't have caught him when he jumped into the, like, nobody, there was no store security? I mean, like, he jumped in there.
All the fishing poles were locked up.
What about the guns? There's a Bass Pro Shop. They have guns there, too. It's a regular, like,
Yeah, everyone knows you don't shoot a gun into the water, Carrie, because it bounces off.
might hurt the fish. I didn't mean to shoot the. Well, first off, it's Florida Man. Let's just start with that. But like, there's so much wrong with this story. Like, first off, like, how hard was it to catch him? They had no store security here at all. Like, you jumped in.
I don't think they were prepared for that. But how do you catch him? I mean,
he's soaking wet. Is he like he jumped back out? Like, I don't think he's gonna be running. I mean, like, I don't know. You got jeans on and you're all like. Have you ever like gone into like water, like you're soaking wet? You're like you got clothes on.
No, just to be practical here, right? So, how do you catch someone? So I worked at Best Buy for years, and we had people steal crap all the time. And our security people were paid the same as us, not great, and they would tackle people in the parking lot. And they're not supposed to do that. They're not cops. They're not security guards. They're not armed. They're not any of that. And they could have gotten sued by those assailants.
But this is Florida. They wouldn't know that. I mean, like, it's Florida Man. He wouldn't know that.
Well, they also didn't predict him doing that, right? So you can't predict chaos, because if you can, then it's not chaos anymore.
I still think it's ridiculous. Like, I mean, come on. Like, well, this is stupid news, right?
No, this is serious news, Gary. This is very serious. This is like next level CNN shit.
No, it's probably more serious than CNN.
Yeah. Definitely.
I can't.
All right, so we got another one here.
Okay.
Oh,
this is mine.
With restaurants closed, rat sightings are increasing across the United States. I think I did hear about this. This is an amazing photograph. Is this real?
I don't know.
Holy
I
crap.
think it's like.
I hope it's real.
Look
I
at
want
them
to
all.
believe
Look
it's
at all
real.
of them. It's beautiful, right? They're all like kind of like talking to each other and trying to figure out.
They don't give a shit about the photographer.
But look at the next one. Look at the one below, because now there was pizza rat. Then there was, I think, bagel rat. Now
is that a cheesecake?
I think it's like English. I think it's an egg McMuffin.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it does say egg McMuffin. Look at that. Like, you know, like this is the subway in New York City. Like, if you've never been in the subway in New York City, how do you describe subway in New York City? Like, it defies explanation. Like,
it's dirty, but you get used to that fairly quickly if you take it on a daily basis.
Yeah.
You just expect it to be dirty.
I mean, I don't know about now.
Kind of like you go in the woods and you don't expect there to be leaves. So you go in the subway and expect there to be dirt and syringes and pizza slices and things like that.
I've never seen any syringes in the subway, honestly.
Maybe once I did, yeah.
I've seen like...
seen them in the park more.
I've seen people peeing.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen human feces piles on the platforms. I've seen rats. I've had rats come right up to me.
Yeah, I don't mind the rats.
No, I don't mind the rats at all. They're the least offensive of all the things in the subway. I have no problem with them.
As a kid, I was a big fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you know, and did the sewer, so I was like, I want to see one of those.
Again, how old are you? Never mind. Anyhow, so it's interesting because they're talking about the fact that there's this huge increase in rodent activity because all of the restaurants being closed. Well, not all of them, but
yeah,
like...
so the garbage piles are less, the scraps are less.
And
I totally
so
get it.
there's...
And people aren't riding the subway, because people ride the subway, they leave their
food,
rest of their sandwich and their coffee cups, and
Yeah, so there's a lot less food for them, so now they're like making these like little foraging, like, you know, they're making these forays out from the subways and into, you know, all kinds of things, and so there's a huge increase, and they're apparently like
probably going to residential garbage more,
and they're attacking each other, and like it's insane. It's kind of like it's like a rat free for all right now.
It's a rat race, yeah.
It is totally a rat race. Excuse me. So it's interesting because there was a while ago there was this whole video, this viral video about this pizza rat. Where he had grabbed a whole slice of pizza and he was dragging it down the steps. Yeah. And then there was another one that he was fighting over. I think it was a bagel or something. But now there's this one where he's got an egg McMuffin and he's like grabbing the whole thing and he's like running down the steps with it. So
you gotta do that before your brothers and sisters find out.
Yeah, right.
Come after you.
Yeah.
For your
I mean,
McMuffin.
and then like right on the heels of the rats and stuff like that. I mean, you got the pigeons, which somebody in my past always said pigeons are just rats with wings.
Duh.
And they're definitely, you know, everyone thinks of birds. I mean, okay, not like hawks and eagles and owls and all that stuff, but like a lot of birds as being like eating worms or seeds or whatever. But
Natural things,
yeah.
not like fried chicken bones.
Yes, because walking to work in the morning before all this happened, you'd often find like in the neighborhood where my school is, somebody would be eating fried chicken or whatever, and they'd throw the bones on the ground, and like I see like a flock of pigeons literally
meat,
eating the remains of the. Well, you get mad when I say, they're cannibals, but like they're eating something in the same what do you call that? Not phylum, that's for plants. Same
I don't know how far up it goes, maybe class. Same class. Yeah.
Something like that. In the
I don't know that chickens and pigeons are any closer than us and
they're all
pigs or
avians.
Yeah, well,
right.
Pigs are mammals. So we're
Well, birds are mammals, aren't? Well, no, they're
birds are
warm-blooded
birds.
though. But
Yeah. So yeah.
Interesting. So the rats are reclaiming the city.
Yeah, they sure are. All right, so here's a little bit more lighthearted one. So I don't know if you saw this one, but Back to the Future writer asked Universal to destroy censored version of the sequel.
There was a censored version of Back to the Future 2?
Yep. This is a very
What was
large
censored?
Photo. So the long and short of this is that Netflix put Back to the Future on, and there was in Back to the Future Part 2, there's a scene where Marty finds the Ooh La La magazine. I don't know if you remember this.
No.
But
Although I have not seen the sequel too much. I've seen the original like a million times, but none of the... I've seen the second one maybe 2 or 3 times.
So do you remember how Biff gets his fortune?
Yes, he has was like an almanac or like a...
Yeah, so
something like that, yeah.
old Biff goes back to
the
1955.
Guinness Book of World Records or something that has like all the reports of everything that happened in the year.
So in the beginning, Marty and Doc go to the future, to 2015.
Right. Oh.
And they get they go to a vintage store, like an 80s store or something, and they get an almanac from the 80s about which is and it includes the sports scores.
Right, and he makes all the bets on the...
And so the old Biff from the 2015 goes back to 1955 to win young Biff and tries to give him that and tell him to bet on it so that he can be rich in the 80s.
Right.
And so young Biff doesn't give a shit. And so in order to get him to see it, he hides the almanac in an Ooh La La magazine, which is basically
like
a
Penthouse
Playboy.
or Playboy, yeah.
Yeah, and so there's the scene where you see the Ooh La La magazine and you see the cover of it, which is a scantily clad woman, which is not naked or anything.
Right.
And so that, in the censored version, you don't see the cover. They cut that like clip out.
Really?
And so somebody who
Really?
had watched the movie many
Netflix?
times, so I didn't watch it on Netflix, but I probably would have noticed that because I've seen the movie a million times. Somebody noticed that, and they sent a message to Universal or Robert Zemeckis. I don't know who they sent it to, but somebody called them out on it, and they were like, "Oh, whoops!" So apparently, this was a version that was made for Europe that Netflix got a hold of, and it wasn't Netflix's fault. At least this article makes it seem that way. It wasn't Netflix's fault. They just got this one and they showed it. Netflix didn't censor it. They just played the version they got, but it's since been corrected now that scene's back.
That's so lame. Oh my God. That's ridiculous.
But that movie was rated PG or maybe PG-13. Like
Still,
probably PG.
like, oh my
Original
God.
was PG, yeah. Even though there was, yeah. So
Wow. That's crazy. Ha! That's funny. God, and that, what did you say was it the 40th anniversary of one of them or something like that? Just this last night you said something about that.
30th anniversary of Back to the Future Part 3 was yesterday.
Wow.
Sunday, yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Well, Memorial Day
1990.
weekend's a big
Yeah.
weekend for movie releases. It's just the 40th anniversary of The Empire Strikes Back just a couple days ago, and
1980, yeah.
yeah, that's pretty cool. I think that's one of my stories. I think that's the very next story, actually.
Look at that segue.
Holy crap, that couldn't have been better. Whoa, yeah, I wasn't even planning that. Nicely done, nicely done. So, I mean, of course, you know that I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And, Dan's yelling that Netflix is China's puppet. But, so, unfortunately, Star Wars is now Disneyfied. I hate Disney. But prior to Disney owning the world, so once upon a time in a galaxy far, far away, a long time ago. So of course I was a young lass when Star Wars came out, A New Hope, and then Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back came out, and I was only 10. And it's so funny when
Oh, you just gave your age away. Good job.
some
Carrie.
people can't math, so I'm okay.
Good job.
A lot of people can't math. It's okay. So this is my favorite Star Wars movie of all time, like hands down. I used to go back and forth between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, but I think I've landed squarely on The Empire Strikes Back for a lot of reasons.
All right.
And so
Favorite
this
scene?
one, what's that?
Favorite scene?
So this one says Empire at 40, from a certain point of view, what's the best scene in Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back? And so we were talking about this in the car the other day, and it's one that I hadn't really thought about, because there's so many scenes that I do like, and this is what made me finally realize that The Empire Strikes Back is my favorite Star Wars movie, because there are so many really good scenes. And I see Charming is actually here. Wow, hey, good to see you, Charming. The article goes on to talk about, there's two different people talking, and they have two different scenes, and I think that they're amazing for different reasons, but I think one of the scenes that I have to agree with, and they talk about the scene with Yoda and with Luke and in his training. And if you're familiar with The Empire Strikes Back, it's after Luke has spent a lot of time running with Yoda on his back, and it's like, he's very tired, and R2-D2 starts bleeping and tootling and warning that like his X-wing, which he landed in the swamp, is now, because he's on Dagobah, is sinking and just disappears, and is almost going to disappear. And so Yoda basically says to Luke, use the Force and you can bring it up. And so Luke tries, and he goes, all right, I'll try. And he was like, no, do or do not. There is no try. And so Luke tries, and he starts to bring it up, and you can see the expression on his face, like, oh my God, he can do it. And then he's like, I can't, it's too big. And then Yoda says, of course, judge me by my size, do you? And then he gives it in a quick little sum up. Really, this is when I'm trying to be very important. You have to go get another drink.
I'm listening. This is your moment.
Oh, God.
Keep shining.
Anyhow, so he says, he gives this like very succinct definition of the Force. And in all these other Star Wars movies that have come out, and the prequels and the sequel trilogy and the in-between movies and the Clone War, and there's all this stuff. And this is when the Star Wars series was still so new and so real and so original and so, true. And we still didn't know so much. And so Yoda just kind of summed up the Force in such a very easy way and just said it was like, luminous beings are we, not this crude stuff, not just, physical, right? That we're, it's what, it's what, it's what joins us, it binds the galaxy together. And it's like this energy field, this unseen energy field. And then he just pulls up and Luke says, you want the impossible. And then he raises the X-Wing, just this tiny little guy, right? And it sort of like gives you that hope and that feeling that's like that. This sort of sums up all of Star Wars, really. And I think that is probably the best scene, of all of the Star Wars movies, because that's the one that like really kind of makes you understand, that there's, the hope, even though The Empire Strikes Back is supposedly like the darkest movie of that trilogy. And that it's just like there's still that hope, and there's still that like that untapped energy, and that there's like the idea of like this like sort of like Zen like moment that you can like I don't know, I liked that. It was like that like still that innocence, I guess, that was there. And then the other person, and that's why I think that's probably the best moment. But then the other person's talking about the asteroid field and the scene with Han and Chewie and Leia, and they just they pretty much had just taken off from Hoth, and they're flying through this crazy asteroid field, and they're trying to escape, and C-3PO's like, the odds of successfully navigating an asteroid field are like 7,312 or something like that to 1, and Han's like, never tell me the odds, and they're going through that, and it's like crazy, but the thing that makes it so amazing, and this ties into a lot of how much it's meant to me, is John Williams' music. because the music, it's actually called the asteroid field. It's just, that's what carries you through it. I mean, otherwise, and if you take the music away from any of the Star Wars movies, which John Williams wrote the music for all of them, all the main ones, the three major trilogies, it's so different. And that flight, like, it's just like you feel like you're part of the Millennium Falcon, like flying through there, and like it carries you through that, and that's what makes it so important. And that the music behind those movies is what makes such a difference. And I mean, and he's the amazing vision behind so much, behind, like, I mean, Jaws, like. And I showed this to my students, and even, just a couple years ago, and showing that, this old movie, like 1975, I think it was 1975, I think it was the movie, 76, somewhere in there, Jaws, the original Jaws.
75.
I think 75, yeah. And I mean, the special effects weren't there, and Steven Spielberg knew it, and still, like, so making the decision to not show the shark until, like, literally 3/4 of the way through the movie, and just letting the music carry the threat, and like, just like, oh my God, as a kid, like, just, and I didn't see the movie when it first came out, I was way too young, but like, just the thought of like what was underneath the water that you couldn't see, like, I was terrified to go in my damn swimming pool because I couldn't see, like, I'd make sure I looked down the bottom before I go in, it's amazing what that music can do to you.
What you don't see is sometimes much scarier than
Oh,
what you do see.
absolutely. And that's how I would introduce the movie to the kids, right? And so by the time we'd actually see the mechanical shark,
Perfect
which
example
Steven
of that,
Spielberg hated, like, the kids were like, no, these are like, jaded Bronx teenagers, and they were willing to, like, all right, we know it's a stupid shark, but still, it's okay, like, because by then they were so into the movie,
Yeah.
I mean, he did music.
It didn't matter what the shark was at that point. Yeah.
And he did the movie.
Could have been Elmo.
Right. He did the
Scary.
music for E.T. and for Jurassic Park and for Harry Potter and for Raiders of the Lost. Oh my God, the Indiana Jones movies. I mean, just like that music, just like, it's amazing. And I mean, and he's my favorite by far composer. But I mean, then you've got like the likes of like Howard Shore with like all of the Lord of the Rings movies and like The Hobbit, and then you've got like Ramin Djawadi with Game of Thrones, and you've got oh my God, the guy who did the Star Trek movies. I wrote his name down because I had it and I can't think of his name now. Oh my God, I love his music. James Horner, some fantastic music with that, and just like. Like, and then ones that came before them too, like, Leonard Bernstein and Henry Mancini with all of his movie music, very different styles. But like, when I was a kid, my mom, like, she bought me, I remember 7 years old when Star Wars came out, like, I used to get like the story of, like, a lot of different movies would come out, like, you put the big record, yes, I'm that old, you put the record down on the record player and listen to the story. And my mom had bought me what she thought was a story of Star Wars, and for my birthday. And it wasn't. It was the soundtrack, just the movie music. And so I'm 7 years old, like, a 7-year-old listening to just, like, instrumental music, right? And I still remember having that album, and I remember putting it on my Winnie the Pooh record player. It was like a little box that kind of opens up. God. And I remember just listening to that music, and could picture the whole movie in my mind, and that's what just such amazing music. Sorry, I digressed for so long on that, but just... something random, but I just love that music. Just,
it's really awesome.
Wow. Yeah. And I mean, and even to this day, like the opening theme to Star Wars, or even the throne room theme at the end of A New Hope, and the Force theme, and and then like the Raiders March, like, just like that, just, wow, just like really gets you,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, sorry.
That's totally fine. I mean, I think it's a good transition into our next story, which is definitely about music and how it makes you feel.
Oh, wow, that just ruined my entire mood. Really? Strip clubs?
Wait, what the hell?
You had strip clubs up. Pole dancing and hand sign. Really? Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh,
so
Lord.
This is not exactly new. It's a week or more old now. It's 25. It's like 9 days old.
Wow.
8 days old. But
wow.
The first strip club to open up in the pandemic is a Wyoming strip club. Masks on, clothes off.
Wow. Well, $22, a 23-year-old exclaims. Not too bad. Wow. All around her, more than a dozen nearly naked women are dancing on the stage and swinging from a brass pole as music thumps and customers shower the dancers with money. It's like any other night at this rural strip club on the Colorado-Wyoming border, with one notable exception. While the dancers are all wearing barely their outfits, every one of them is wearing a mask. Some are bandanas, some are surgical masks. One looks as if it was swiped from a construction site. Wow. So, if you're going to be wearing a mask while you're doing the whole stripper thing, don't wear the surgical mask unless you're being the nurse. Like, if she has a nurse hat on top of her head, okay. Right? That would be okay. But, like...
I was never turned on by the nurse thing.
Yeah, well, I mean...
I'm not a fan of doctors, so I guess it's probably
Well, I mean, if that's your look, that's fine. But, like, the surgical... I mean, like, otherwise, I think you need to wear, like, a bandana or something like that. Like, otherwise, it just looks like... Or if you're a constructor, like, if you're going to have, like, the construction, like, look, like, if you're going to have, like, the construction... Yeah, that's fine. Do the construction mask. But, like, if you're wearing a surgical mask and you just have, like, your thong or, like, that's just
Yeah,
lame.
I guess you could do the nurse thing. You could do the construction worker. Like, if you're trying to work the mask into the theme.
Yeah.
And then you could do, like, like, Wild West, like, bandana
With the
thing.
bandana, yeah.
What else could you do with the mask? You could do...
You could
do
do
Stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Stormtrooper.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's a bunch of things you
There's
could
a
work
few
on.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do like a superhero, like Wonder Woman. Well,
Yeah.
Wonder Woman didn't wear a mask, but
I saw a funny, it was a meme, it was a joke, but they did, Victoria's Secret was releasing like the sexy masks. You know, it was a thong mask. So basically it looked like when people, like in the old days, or I don't know, they may still do it, like you have like really bad teeth and you have to wear a retainer at night, it looked like a thong mask. Basically it was just like a strip across your mouth and up to your ears. I was like, there you go.
thong mask.
But I mean, like the whole idea of like the stupid, like, I'm sorry, like if you're gonna wear a surgical mask and you're a stripper, unless it's part of your costume, that's lame.
Here's the best picture.
Whoa. Whoa. All right, the chick with the bandana. Well, I
I guess
Wow.
that's bandana. These aren't, I guess.
no.
This is clearly like
I don't know.
construction mask or
Yeah,
like a painter's mask.
yeah, they're all okay.
Not
The
sure what this
masks
one
are
is.
all okay.
Yeah, let's just leave it at that.
We'll just leave it at that. Yeah, that sounds good. Well, it's interesting. That's a business I never even thought of as far as like being closed. But I mean, that's not really like. I mean, you can socially.
Yeah, you're not supposed to touch the
Yeah,
performers.
so there you go.
So technically, you're supposed to be distant enough that you're not touching them. Like 6 feet is probably a bit more than normal, but
Well, didn't we see
I guess you can't put $1 in the thong if you're 6 feet away. But
we saw a show
one
about
arm.
the
you need like grabber, like the
one of like the
grabber
reach
thing.
things. Yeah, there
like
you go.
here you go, honey.
Yeah, right.
The grabber.
Well, there wasn't we saw like not a commercial. We saw like a news article or something where there was like a strip club that was still like operating, but like it was for takeout food or something like that. They were cooking and they had like a tent where like the cars could come through like to pick up their food, and it was being delivered by women who were like pole dancing. Remember?
Oh yeah,
And
they repurposed the strip club into like a drive-through.
Yeah, like
take
pick up
out
food.
food.
Right. That was
First of all, if you're eating food from a strip club, there's something wrong.
Yeah, I just that.
Drinks are one thing, but food, like no.
I just picture things in my food. I just didn't know.
Yeah, like cheap body sprays and stuff like.
Glitter and
Yeah.
other unmentionable things.
You don't like glitter on your hot dog?
No. I'm also picturing pubic hair.
Well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I guess they're mostly trimmed, waxed. It depends.
No.
That was a face. All right, so we got one last one here,
Okay.
and this one I think is yours.
That is not mine.
guess
That's
I
definitely yours.
I guess I put this in here.
Raging house party amid the coronavirus ends when a man shoots himself in the groin.
So after the strip club, you got a raging boner, and you want to figure out how to put it out. So
Wow. So, larger gatherings are still prohibited under strict coronavirus stay-at-home orders, but that didn't stop a raging house party Saturday night in the Hollywood Hills that ended when, police say, a man accidentally shot himself in the groin. Isn't that how they usually end? someone accidentally shoots themselves.
I don't think that's a good way to start a party, at least. So
No,
probably
definitely not,
ending
right?
a party would be better than, yeah.
So, loud party at 1410 Miller Drive. Los Angeles Police Lieutenant Mark Chong said, wow, okay. When they responded, they found more than 100 people were gathered at a short-term rental property.
Yeah, short-term rental property.
Airbnb.
So they rented it for the weekend or whatever.
The officers heard a single gunshot and called for backup units. An investigation revealed that a man had been shot in his groin area. The wound is believed to have been accidentally self-inflicted. So, okay. So here's my problem with the self-inflicted gunshots to the groin.
There's a problem with this?
So no, because clearly if you're going to be stupid enough not to know how to put your gun on safety...
You won't be having any children.
Thank you. I'm okay with that. But like, I mean, all right, so if you're going to carry a gun, so first off, you're carrying a gun to a huge party like that. All right, well, let's just pretend for a moment that you were concerned about your safety.
Bringing a gun to a beer fight?
So you're, first off, if you feel you need to bring a gun and you're going to a party that big, maybe you shouldn't be going to the party that big if you think you need to bring a gun. Number one.
Well,
But let's
I mean,
assume...
But, in some parts of the country, you can, bring your gun to the drugstore. It's fine.
Oh, I know.
Because it's a right to carry.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, like, so you're bringing your gun, but you're going to a party where you're
Yeah.
probably going to be drinking. So and there's that many people there. I don't think I would feel safe bringing my gun because I would be afraid, like, when I drink, that somebody, like, I
Shoot
would
your
be...
dick off?
I don't have a dick.
Maybe that's because you shot it off?
So, anyhow, my point being is that if you are that dumb, this is just a reason why maybe people need to be screened a little bit better or take a better safety course before they can carry a fucking gun. Because clearly they always end like this. These dumbasses who take these guns and they shoot themselves in the groin or the foot. Like how many football players have brought their guns to like a goddamn bar or something like that? Like professional football players, I've seen that before. And they shoot themselves in the foot or the groin. Like I'm like, really? Really? Like, how stupid are you? Like, you need to... And so, should you be carrying a gun when you go to a bar and you're planning on drinking?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Should you be carrying a gun when you're going to a big, giant, fucking 100-person party?
As long as you're pointing at your groin, yes.
Huh.
For sure. Make sure you keep it in your pants. Holsters are not allowed, so you have to keep it in your pants.
Oh, yeah,
in the
because
front.
that's the wanksta way.
Yeah, so it's got to be wedged between your leg and your nutsack, and then you'll be fine.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, just like, that's just really stupid. Like, I mean, I'm not against you carrying a gun. I mean, that's fine. Like, whatever. That's great. But, like, I just think you should rethink bringing it when you're going to go drinking like that.
I think it's a good way to do it, actually. So, you're allowed to carry from now on. You're allowed to open carry. But it has to be pointed at your nuts the whole time. So you can carry a gun whenever you want. Fine. That's the law. You can carry it whenever you want, but it has to be pointed at your nuts the whole time until someone threatens you. Then you can pull it out and point at them. Point at their nutsack.
But what if you don't have a nutsack? What if you're a woman?
Or you can point at their vagina sack.
We don't have a vagina sack. There's no such thing as a vagina sack. You understand that, don't you?
I just thought it lined up.
How many women have you been with in your life? There's no vagina sack.
Oh, I guess I'm doing that wrong, huh?
Wow. Okay. On that note, I think maybe that's enough for today.
Could be.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. And there we go. So what's the parting words?
Well, if anyone has any ideas about what they'd like to hear us babble on about, that would be greatly appreciated. Otherwise, we just talk about silly things because we drink and we know things. But no, we're supposed to be like Tyrion from Game of Thrones. We drink and we know you don't have to shorten yourself. Just saying. Bye.